The European Union is supposed to be one of the major worldwide security and peacekeeping actors. Via the Common Security and Defense Policy, the Union ensures its own security and supports military initiatives across the globe. Current tension situations such as the one in Russia and budget cuts are causing the CSDP to fail to function as efficiently as planned, which can possibly undermine the EU's position in the international scene. Reformulation is so mandatory in order to secure the EU's long-lasting peacekeeping objectives, but it poses several obstacles in terms of ideology. While some consider the reformulation of the CSDP to be the best solution, others are convinced that the EU requires a new plan. To both sides of this conflict, it is beyond evident that change is necessary. However, will it be possible to combine the several interests of the member states in order to achieve a strong and unified European voice? Most arguments supporting the CSDP state that such policy is the only way to deal with fragmentation in Europe, stating that without a unifying agent, the EU response to erupting situations would be extremely slow and in small scope. Several arguments also being forwarded by those opposing to the CSDP. Firstly, most consider the EU to lack of military capability and perceive the EU-NATO relationship as negative. Some even argue that without the United States of America, the major role in NATO, the EU would have close to no military capability to deal with international incidents. Furthermore, the lack of investment in military assets by the EU member states causes dissatisfaction among military leaders. As said, investment would be necessary to decrease the EU dependency on NATO. Finally, the CSDP has also received intense criticism regarding its legitimacy, as many consider the policy is failing to address input, the possibility for its citizens to participate in the system's decision-making. So is the CSDP the best way for Europe to steer its political-military affairs? The major question should be, what do you want the EU to become, and how are we going to achieve it without violating our most fundamental values? Whether by supporting the CSDP and solving its problem while accounting for our military capacities, or not supporting the CSDP, how far should the EU go in building military capacities in order to prevent and solve future conflicts and to meet the goals set by the Petersburg tasks?
Created using Powtoon.